you have an intense yearning, you will make a strong resolve. When you have a strong resolve, you will put in tremendous effort. When you put in huge effort, that is how you will become. And if your aspiration is mild, the decision will be weak. The effort will be lukewarm. And that is how you will become. When you make this decision that if I don't change now, my life is worse than death. When you make that firm resolve, change will happen. How then do we go about making strong choices? Think about where you were 15 years ago. And then you made certain choices. Whether to come to Dallas, whether to move from India to USA, whether to shift your career, whether to get married or not get married, etc., etc. And that has led to where you are today. Today also you have choices to make. You could have chosen to do 5,000 things in the DFW Metroplex, but you chose to come and listen to the science of mind management. Now, based on the choices that you make today, you will determine where you are going to be 15 years from today. This is the importance of choices. Consider the example of Goswami Tulsidas. He is one of the most famous saints in Indian history, the writer of the Hindi Ramayana. But Tulsidas was not a saint always. In fact, he was quite on the other side of the spectrum. Although he was a married man, he was so immensely infatuated by his better half that he could not dream of living without her. And one day she had gone to her Maika, parents' home. And at night Tulsidas realized that life without her is worse than death. So he said, I need to meet her immediately. He got out. It was raining heavily. But in love you can brave anything. And that was Tulsidas' experience. Like a hero, he walked through the rain until he reached the river before his in-laws' home. On that stormy, dark night, there was no boat willing to take him across. But his luck was good. A log was floating by. He grabbed the log and he swam across. He grounded it on the other bank. Now the appropriate thing would have been to go around to the front door, knock and come in. After all, he was the son-in-law. He has the legal right to meet his wife. He is not committing some crime. But he was in such a hurry, he could not tolerate the delay. He discovered a rope hanging from the top floor. He grabbed the rope and climbed in and jumped in through the window. So when he jumped in the 11th hour, his wife was startled. She said, my dear husband, you are not Spider-Man. How did you come in like this? He said, it's my love for you. The wife said, but how did you climb up? He said, you were so thoughtful. You had hung a rope from the window. She said, I did no such thing. She looked out and discovered a snake slithering down. She said, what? You were so infatuated in your love for me, you took that snake as a rope. And how did you cross the river? He said, you know what? It was my lucky day. There was a log floating by. Look. She looked and she saw that's a dead body. She said, my God, I can't believe it. Your attraction to my body of pus, blood, stool, urine, mucus is so much that you mistook a dead body for a log and the snake for a rope. If you had a fraction of this infatuation for the Supreme Lord Bhagavan Sri Ram, you would have achieved God realization. That was the turning point in Tulsidasa's life. He made a decision right then. He said, enough is enough. I am fed up with my lower self. I will need to change things in my life. And he turned around to become such a tremendous saint in history. So, what was the turning point in Tulsidasa's life? All of us wish to improve. We hear lectures like this again and again on how to improve. We try also to become better people, and yet somehow it doesn't seem to happen. And yet look at Tulsidas, the amount of transformation that he was able to achieve. What was instrumental in bringing about that transformation? It was the decision he made at that moment. Enough is enough. No more. I will change myself. We too, at every moment, have decisions to make. Is this going to be the moment when you are going to decide to transform your life forever? You may say, Swamiji, is it so easy? I just decide and it happens? No, it's not just the decision, but the intensity of it which counts as well. There is one decision which is again changed, and there is one decision which is pran paryant, unto death. Like somebody said to me, Swamiji, giving up smoking is very easy. I said, that vice has not gripped you as yet? No, I give up smoking every day. How can you give it up again and again? Because by evening time I have started again. That is one kind of decision, and the other is where you have decided and chapter closed. So there is a sutra in the Vedas, sa yat kamo bhavati tat kratur bhavati, yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute, yat karma kurute tadabhi nishpadyate. If you have an intense yearning, you will make a strong resolve. When you have a strong resolve, you will put in tremendous effort. When you put in huge effort, that is how you will become. And if your aspiration is mild, the decision will be weak. The effort will be lukewarm. And that is how you will become. So it is up to us to choose well, to choose with intent and intensity. How then do we go about making strong choices? Somebody came to Socrates, the wise old man in Greece, and asked him, "O sage, I wish to become a better person." Socrates said, "Let's go and take a bath in the stream." So this man thought, maybe you clean yourself from the outside first and then from the inside later on. Because cleanliness is next to godliness. He's wondering, why has Socrates asked me to take a bath? They went to the river. And Socrates took a dip. This man also took a dip. But Socrates came out quickly. And he held this man's head under the water. So first he was surrendered. I told him to make me a better person. Maybe this is part of the drill. But after 20 seconds, his lungs were getting depleted of oxygen. And he struggled to come out. But Socrates, although he was older, he had the vantage position. He was holding him firmly. After 40 seconds, this guy thought, now I'm going to die, now I'm going to die. After a minute, Socrates released him. He came out. Socrates said, "What happened?" "Sir, if you had left me in the water for one more minute, my life airs would have left the body." Socrates said, "That is the answer to your question. You said, how do I become a better person? The answer is, when you make this decision that if I don't change now, my life is worse than death. When you make that firm resolve, change will happen. Because every change requires effort. And the effort has to come from the firm decisions." So the sutra for today is to choose rightly, to choose with good intent, and to choose intensely.